I do think it's weird that Rose has never mentioned it. And then the other thing, I was like, and I always be saying it, like, what do these people be talking about? What do they be talking about on the phone? Do they be talking on the phone? Do they text? Do they just be like, "Hey, how was your day?" "Oh, my day was good. How about you?" Like, what do y'all be talking about? How could you have not asked her that? That's was the bigger thing for me because let me tell you something. Within 2 weeks, I knew all there was to know about my husband. Okay, I'm being funny, but I'm not. Okay, because I be asking the questions like, let him have had a child. I would have been like, what's her name? The baby mama's name? Pull her up on Facebook. Let me see. When's the last time y'all talked? How many times y'all talked? When you be going over there to get them? Y'all be texting and calling, or y'all just got a schedule? Like I would have known all the things. Like there's no way on this earth that I wouldn't have known that if he doesn't have a child. But I'm just saying if he did, there's no way I wouldn't have known that the baby mama was incarcerated. Like what is up, y'all? How are y'all doing? Welcome back to another show review of Many Thoughts with Dr. T. I hope y'all are doing well. We are back to review Ready to Love Season 10. You know, I never know the episode, but it will be right in the description. Okay. Everybody else reviews, they come out on Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, but no, not us. We come out on Monday and Tuesday. We're late. Okay. So watch everybody else reviews. And then when you're like, man, I kind of want something in this middle of the week, bam, here we are. Okay. All right, so this week's assignment was for the men to introduce the ladies to their families. So we start off with Jay and is it Kiara? Kyra? Let's go with Kyra. Kyra. Let's just I'm sorry if that's not how you pronounce it, but we're just gonna go with Kyra. So she meets Jay's parents who have been married for a long time. I think he said they've been married for a couple decades and his aunt and his cousin. So it seems like he has a good family dynamic there. And they ask, so the first thing they ask, or I think the aunt, it was funny. She was one of those, you know, we all have the aunt that says whatever, right? Or the grandma, whoever, the granny. And so she asked them how long they had been together, and they was like, see, what happened was, and you know, she was like, oh, okay, so you don't really know her. I was like, exactly, exactly. Um, I'm thinking it's probably been a couple months. And that's the thing too. Okay, I know I'm starting already. This is a tangent. It's like, how dare you? And you know, I gotta get on the producers. Go off air. So remember, this came on in February, y'all. Not you came on in February, went off air for like 3 months, and had the audacity to take a Labor Day break. I was like, really? So not you trying to drag this whole season out for a year. It started in February. Did y'all okay. So anyway, I said that to say that maybe they have known each other for a couple of months at this point. I don't know. Maybe they did record it all together and they're just showing it to us over the course of a year for some reason. I don't know. So then the dad out asked how she is with her family, and she says she's close with her family and she's the only child on her mother's side or daddy's side, something like that. And so they immediately said that she was spoiled and she agrees. This is a boo and this is a tangent because it's like we gotta stop the only child hate, okay, and the only child stereotypes. I don't know where that comes from. Of course, I told you I'm an only child myself. And so I just find it very disturbing when people don't know me from a can of paint, right? I sit down, we're having a conversation. It may come up if, hey, do you have brothers, sisters, do you have siblings? And I say, no, not by choice of my own. You know, I don't have siblings. I'm an only child. And immediately, these people don't know me. Immediately, it's like, oh, okay. Oh, you spoiled. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, she. And I'm just like, dang, people don't know me. But all I gotta say is I'm an only child and everybody has me completely figured out. We got to stop. And I'm just like, why I gotta be spoiled? Like what is that about? What is that about? These are the things that we need to start saying about only children. Let me give you some things that we can use to describe them. I'm confident, okay? Growing up as an only child, everything is on you, right? I didn't have a brother or sister to lean on. So if I wanted to go down a sliding board or whatever, something was scary, I had to just learn how to tough through it and do it on my own. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very confident. Um, I'm very independent in that I can entertain myself, for the most part. I don't really need a large group of people. I'll pretty much do anything by myself. I'll go to the movies by myself, shopping, whatever. Like I don't need a large group of people or a friend to tag along or anything like that. Because for 18 years I was pretty much by myself for the most part. We're very introspective, right? As an only child, you have to learn how to process your thoughts and emotions by yourself a lot of the times, right? You can't come home and tell your sister or your brother or look what happened or I mean you can call a friend or whatever, but for the most part, you have to learn how to process a lot of things on your own. So then those are just three. Those are just three. Those are just three. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like we gotta start using some different definitions and change this stereotype, and let's make it a positive stereotype for only children. Okay, so that's just my PSA on that. That was a big tangent.
This is
But
a
that just
tangent.
bothers me. I just don't know. They was like, "Oh, okay." And of course, she gonna feed into it. Yeah, I am. I mean, I'm spoiled. I was just like, "Oh my god." And it's like I'm 38 and I'm still asking my parents for siblings. You see what I'm saying? Because it's never too late. Sarah was 90 in the Bible, so I don't want to hear that. I would be the best big sister ever. Okay. So, mom, dad, if you listening, it's not too late. You already know I'm going to look out. Okay. So, clap it up for my parents. It's never too late. All right. Oh, as my mom is somewhere with my three kids right now saying you're crazy. Okay. Now, so they say the next step. So Jay says the next step is introducing the kids he has with the kids. What I say I was gonna call her Kiara has. They both have two. And I just thought, and again, I haven't been in this situation, so I don't know. But I just think it's way too soon to be introducing kids to somebody you met on a game show. I don't care what y'all say. This is a game show. This is fake. Normal people don't go on shows like this to find people. Okay. So it's like y'all have known each other for a couple weeks, maybe a couple months. I just thought it was really too soon for him to say that that's the next step. For me, and I know people can look at this at two different angles. Some people say you want to know early if the person gets along with your kids or if they mesh before you, I guess, get too close. But I'm kind of on the other end. I need to almost be ready to get engaged before I'm introducing somebody to my kids. Because I just would never want to be in a situation where every 6 months is somebody else. Every year is somebody else. Is this person is Danny, is Bobby, is Jimmy, is John. You know what I'm saying? I always want to make sure that I protect that space for them. And if I'm introducing somebody to you, that means they are extremely important and somebody, I'm thinking about bringing into our lives full time, not just somebody I'm dating for the month, you type of thing. So I just thought that was strange um, to say that that was the next step for them. And then Jay also had hesitations himself with how he kept going back to, he keeps thinking about how she was acting on the trip, which I think is very fair. And then they talk about the incident during the trip, so they bring that up. And like I told y'all, whenever we're meeting with friends, whenever we're meeting with family, I'm always listening to see. And if you're dating, this is something that's important too. is the family, is the friend, are they gonna be biased, or are they gonna always ride and be on the side of their brother, cousin, friend? See what I'm saying? And so I liked how the family did this. So they did hold Jay accountable. I did like that because that's fair. You don't want to just always be on Jay's side, and no matter what, that's not good. That's not healthy. So you got to watch out for that. So I loved how they was like, well, Jay, you was wrong. What if she did that to you? So I did like to hear that. And then they also held her accountable. So I like that too, because sometimes they'll be on the flip side where they're always going against you. You're like, dang, mama. And so they also told her that she needed to make sure that she's able to communicate effectively, and you can't shut down, and you can't fly off the handle and act crazy. And I think she knows that. But is she really going to do something about it? That is the question. So I like his family. I like them a lot. And I think they've identified the major issue. So I think it's very out in the open that communication is going to be the thing. So if I was Jay, I wouldn't move any further with her until we were able to iron this out, because it's going to be something else that comes up. So I'm sure he won't have to wait long. There'll be something else. And then just see if she truly is learning, is trying to get better, or if she just always going to fly off the handle and get on the cold shoulder for 3 days type of thing. But overall, I really liked his family. So then next we go to Hussein and Rose. So first of all, clap it up for Rose. I thought Rose looked amazing. I thought she looked so good. She says she's been in 3 relationships and said the L word in one. She says she does have another connection, but it's not on the same level as Hussein. I don't know about y'all, but that kind of shocked me. For some reason, maybe I just missed it. I thought her and Cam were on a higher level than her and Hussein, but maybe I missed it. Maybe I misread it. And then not only that, but she was like, and Cam knows that. I was like, oh, does he? I was like, okay. Um, so then they asked Rose, um, oh no. So Rose asked Hussein and his friends. She asked his friends what type of man is Hussein in a relationship. And remember, don't let us forget, y'all. I told y'all I was out on Hussein because how his friends were acting, and it's probably 2 or 3 episodes now ago. Now you remember when they had to meet the guys and the guys' friends, and I told y'all, you are who you hang around for the most part. Now, you don't believe 100% what your friends believe, but I mean, dang, it's probably going to be 85, 90, right? You're not going to hang around people that have totally different belief and value systems than you do, right? And so, out of all the questions that his friends could have asked, was it Rose and Angie, I think, that were there? Out of all the questions, because you want to look out for your friend, you want to look out for your homie, you want to make sure that he's with the right woman, and I will never let this go. They asked her, I think it was Rose, are you conservative in bed or something like that? And I was like, what? And Hussein just sat back, like, yeah, I kind of want to know too. I thought that was wildly inappropriate for a friend to ask. And then other friend, again, you can ask anything. Other friend was like, oh yeah, I just want you to know he a sex addict. I was like, "Wait, what's going on here?" So I clocked from early on that I think Hussein isn't who he is trying to portray as this like meek, mild, calm guy. I just think he be doing the most. I'm sorry, I do. And when I seen that, I was like, no, I'm out. So just put a pin in that. All right, so Rose asked, these are another group of friends. I think this was a brother and a cousin or something like that. So these are different people, different people. And so Rose asked, what type of man is Hussein in a relationship? And they say he is maturing now. So she picked him at a good time. So once again, that's leading me to believe that Hussein be doing the most. Okay. We heard sex addict. We heard because he was like, yeah, because when I lived with him, he was having sex all the time. I couldn't sleep. And then his other friend was like, yeah, what kind of positions you be doing? And I was just like, what's going on? And so then this other brother is saying that he's maturing now. So it just confirms that I'm out on Hussein. Um, I'm not trying to be the very first person that you fixing it with. You see what I'm saying? You're maturing now. And they're like, yeah, so you picked him at a good time. Like, nah, I'm not about to be the rebound person you trying to get it right with after you done everything. Like, no. So, good luck to Rose on that. And so then this is where it kind of gets juicy. So they asked Rose about her son and the relationship with her son's father. She says her son is 17 and that her baby's father is incarcerated and she doesn't have a relationship with him. She's been a single mother since day one. So Hussein is upset and confused by this and he's very surprised. Um, this was interesting, y'all. I just felt like and maybe I'm missing a perspective here and I'm open to say that I might be missing it. I just didn't see how big of a deal this was. My first thought, like if somebody told me their significant other was incarcerated, I'd be like, good, I don't have to worry about them. But then next thing question, I'd be like, what they in there for? And do it got anything to do with you? Okay. So I would need to know those two pieces. That's very important. Like, did he try to kill you? Like what happened? Um, but if it was something unrelated and they don't ever talk or anything like that, I don't think I would have been as worried. I do think it's weird that Rose has never mentioned it. And then the other thing, I was like, and I always be saying it, like, what do these people be talking about? What do they be talking about on the phone? Do they be talking on the phone? Do they text? Do they just be like, "Hey, how was your day?" "Oh, my day was good. How about you?" Like, what do y'all be talking about? How could you have not asked her that? That's was the bigger thing for me because let me tell you something. Within 2 weeks, I knew all there was to know about my husband. Okay, I'm being funny, but I'm not. Okay, because I be asking the questions like, let him have had a child. I would have been like, what's her name? The baby mama's name? Pull her up on Facebook. Let me see. When's the last time y'all talked? How many times y'all talked? When you be going over there to get them? Y'all be texting and calling, or y'all just got a schedule? Like I would have known all the things. Like there's no way on this earth that I wouldn't have known that if he doesn't have a child. But I'm just saying if he did, there's no way I wouldn't have known that the baby mama was incarcerated. Like I mean, do you see how easy she was able to offer that information when they asked? She was like, "Oh yeah, da da da." So I'm like, "Did you not ask?" That's what I was trying to figure out. Like, did you not ask her that, or did you ask? And are you saying that she omitted it or she lied? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, did she just lie, or did she just talk around it? Did you even ask? I'm just trying to figure out and put this puzzle together because that was kind of weird. Um, but that completely blindsided Hussein. Um, and what I think happened, guys, I think it's I almost think about it like a pie. And you can cut the pie into how can you cut a pie equally? 33 and a third. um, I feel like it's three things happening that happened in Hussein's brain. Cause at first I really had to sit with this because I was like, why is he so upset about this? I think one is the embarrassment. That's big for everybody, but especially men around other men, because I don't know if y'all know this or not, but that's what men really care about, impressing other men. Like that's the whole thing. That's why they get money. That's why they have houses and cars. It's not for women, it's to impress other men. Okay. So that really crushed him when he brings beautiful Rose and then she drops a bombshell. Now he looking stupid in front of his boys. So that's number one. Number two, um, I think it was a little bit of the fact that she omitted it or whatever. So I think that played a part. And then number three, I think the fact that, and he mentioned this a little later on, when he gets out, what am I to expect? Right? Is he gonna come after me? Is it gonna be a problem? Rose, I know you saying you over it, but is he over it? So I think those three things combined, I don't think it was just her admitting it, but I think those three things combined is all of a sudden three things that he has to kind of tackle now. And I think that's what made it a lot for him. Um, so then Angie enters the chat. So she comes, y'all already know I'm out on Angie. I mean, the red flags are just all over the place. Um, so they ask Angie what she does, and she says for a living or for fun. I was like, oh my God, Angie. Um, and don't get me wrong, y'all know I'm not serious. I be joking all the time. But when people are I'm just getting to know somebody, I do back off a little bit. And so, because I don't know, I got to feel them out and see, are they easily offended? Will they take my jokes to heart? Maybe they just don't, not a person that laughs a lot. You know what I'm saying? I want them to think I'm too silly. You know what I'm saying? So I don't normally go right in like that. But anyway, they asked her about her family, and Angie. I mean, I've been the big dog for my family. I don't know no other way. And I'm just like I keep telling y'all, Angie, it's okay to be single. You don't have to have a man, and it's okay. Cause I just don't see how she would work with a man. I really don't see it. I think her and Deanna, I don't see it. Y'all remember Deanna, the firefighter? Same thing. They got that same issue going. They take pride in being the masculine force in the relationship and doing all the things. Whatever you can do, man, I can do it too. Okay. They love that. And that's cool. You know, women, we can do a lot of things that men can do, but we don't have to. So sit back and be easy. And they haven't learned that part. They actually take pride in showing a man up, and it's I mean, she came out and said it. She's like, I'm the big dog for my family. I don't know no other way. She just said it. So I don't know if whoever chooses Angie, they're gonna be in for it. I'm gonna just tell you. Um, so she says she likes. So Angie says she likes Hussein's calming spirit, and she needs that because she's spicy and she needs someone to settle her down. Um, And y'all, it's like I don't think it's fair to the other person. I know a lot of people that are I won't even say type A, but just there's some people that have a larger than life energy. And then they do say this a lot. Well, like when I'm with such and such, they calm me down. And it's like I don't think it's fair to the other person for you to siphon their energy and use their energy to bring you down. You know what I'm saying? And they always got to be like, don't say that, don't do too much. Now why you I think that puts a lot on them. I don't think that's fair all the time. So I think again that would be a lot on Hussein. He would always be trying to calm her down. At the same time, she would be trying to be the man. It's just I think it'll be a mess. Um and then too, I was thinking if that's truly what Angie is looking for, somebody for her to keep her in line and calm her down, Cam is your man. Because Cam can't wait to get somebody in line. Okay. So be careful what you wish for. So the friends say that they like Angie for Hussein more than Rose. Um, and again, I think that because this has happened multiple times, you'll see on this in this show on this episode, people are picking Angie, and again, they're only seeing Angie for 30 minutes, maybe 45, maybe an hour. If it, I doubt it even went that long. And so you really can't make a good judgment that quickly. And so I hope the guys are really listening to their own intuition more than what their families are saying, because Angie is not going to work out for you, Hussein. Um, and then too, it kind of makes me think that what I was saying earlier about how Hussein is more wild. Obviously his friends know that. They know how he gets down. They know his past, and that's another reason why I think they said Angie over the more reserved Rose because they know the real Hussein. Okay, so that was that, and then we go over to Cisco. So Cisco's with his sister, and dang, am I out on everybody on this show? I think I am. Yeah, I think the last person I really liked was Khalil. Um, And I'm not trying to be funny because Cisco's a very attractive man. But y'all know Cisco was 38? I literally had to go back in my notes and I said, how old is he? Every time I look at him, I think that he's like a 55-year-old man, like a very attractive 55-year-old man. But I got to remember, like, me and Cisco are the same age. Why do you look so old, Cisco? I guess it's the gray hair. The gray hair. I'm sorry. Like I said, very attractive, and I liked in his confessional. He had like the box cut and the fade. It was dope. But still, I was like, Cisco, you look like 20 years older than you are. um, so his sister says that she hasn't met a lot of his girlfriends and that today is the first. Because of course she's meeting Tay. And y'all, I told y'all last episode with Cisco, I just feel like there's so much gray area. So there's something that we just, I don't know, maybe it's me. I just feel like it's something that we don't know. There's something missing. There is a puzzle piece that is missing in this equation. I thought he said that he was married before and he was divorced. And so when his sister was acting like, yeah, he's had so many girlfriends, I've never met anybody. You're the first. I was just like, hmm. And then too, it's like, okay, let's just throw out the whole divorce thing. It's like, okay, you 38. You mean to tell me that you've never been serious about anybody enough to let them meet your sister at 38? Nobody? Anybody? That was just kind of puzzling to me. Um, and then she says she can't wait to see her big brother walk down the aisle, and it would be a dream for both of them. And that's another red flag too, y'all. It's like when friends or family, if you're dating, you gotta be careful about people trying to push y'all down the aisle. It's like I'm not trying to hear nothing about no aisle, no wedding right now. I'm trying to understand. We on this date. I'm with you to try to figure out who he really is and what's happening. Sometimes people can get caught up in wedding bells and they not thinking about, okay, so after we get married and he still don't got no job and no car, then what? You see what I'm saying? Are you gonna come pick me up? And so I got a side eye on a sister. Okay. And again, I thought he was married before. So again, that was throwing me off. And she was like, I can't wait to see him walking down the aisle. Maybe his first marriage, they got married at the Justice of the Peace. I don't know. I was making up a whole scenario. Um, So then she says, so then, Tay brings up the reservations about him not, remember, Cisco don't have no car, Cisco don't have a place of his own. So they bring that up and how she has questions about the stability. And again, this is when the sister, so I was giving the sister a side eye. At this point, the sister completely threw me off because the sister says, oh, let me do my little button, y'all. I haven't done it yet.
Is this the one? No, that's the man voice.
Okay, so then the sister was like, don't worry about that because those are minor concerns that can be fixed. Don't even worry about that. I just need my wedding invite. I just want to see my big brother walk down the aisle. That's it.
And I was like, nah, I'm out on sis. I'm out on sis. Not they minor concerns, sis. Not him not having a vehicle or a place to stay is a minor concern that can be fixed. Y'all, to me, a minor concern is he snores a lot. A minor concern is he don't be separating his whites and in the clothes. I don't know. It was just like, what you mean that's a minor concern? Um And two, it's like I still haven't heard a plan of action from Cisco. I still haven't heard a clear enough explanation of why he's in this situation. That's still bothering me too. Again, I think he mentioned that he was divorced, and when he got divorced, that left him in financial shambles or something. But it's like, how long ago was that? Why have you not bounced back? Like, what's going on? Where do you work? What is your career path? I still just haven't heard enough. He kind of just be sitting there the whole every time this comes up, he's like, yeah, I'm disappointed in Tay. I hope she believes in me. And I'm just like, but what's the plan? Like, what's really going on? That's what I'm saying. I feel like something's missing. So we're not being told something, or he's not sharing something about this situation. And I also didn't like how, and I understand. I know when you're in a conversation, and I mean, nobody knows this more than me, because I can feel the energy and the tension when you're having a conversation and something's uncomfortable and you want to move past it. And I wish Tay would have dwelled on this conversation just a little bit more. So they brought it up, and sister was like, "Oh, that's easy. It can be fixed." And he was like, "Yeah, yeah, I'm working on it." And then she was like, "But he has all these good qualities." I just thought she moved past it too long, too quickly. I would have wanted to sit in that a little more and ask some questions. I mean, you got sis right there. I would have wanted to delve in a little bit more and understand his situation. That's such a big thing. And I just don't understand why Tay is just glossing over that. That's just, I don't know if she's doing this not what I'm hoping, and she's doing this as to not hurt Cisco's feelings. I think she realized maybe in that second when we came back from break, episode 6 or whatever, how he was like crying when they was out there on that street um celebration carnival thing they were having. Maybe she realized like, dang, that really hurt his feelings. So maybe she's just gonna try to ride this out to the end of the show. And then when they have to make their decision, maybe she'll let him down easy then. But I just don't understand why Tay isn't digging deeper into this or taking that more serious. Um the other thing, one more thing that Cisco said when they were talking about this is he was like, yeah, when I hear her say that, when I hear her have those reservations, it makes me want to be solution oriented. And again, this goes to what I told y'all last week, and I think that Cisco is not a self-starter. I think he depends on having a woman to be some type of motivation for him. And I think when he doesn't have that, I think it's hard for him to be motivated and, you know, kind of get himself going, which is also a red flag. Again, like I was saying, I wouldn't want you to be siphoning all my energy just so you can get to where you need to be going. I almost feel like he's the type where, and don't get me wrong, I mean, it's good to help your man, but it's different when you're helping versus he needs your help and he can't operate. Like you got to be sending him 5 jobs to apply to every day and sit beside him and be like, "Baby, did you apply?" Type of thing. Like it's just, I don't know. That's what I was thinking prior. And then when he said, when I hear her reservations, it makes me want to be solution oriented. And I was like, you should try to be finding a solution anyway to your situation, regardless of if she's with you or not. You see what I'm saying? So I think he needs a woman by his side for him to be like, okay, well, I got a reason to get up and do whatever and get a job and get a car and get a house now because I got a woman. And I don't think that's good. I think you need that for your to have that self motivation for yourself anyway, regardless. So I would just be really concerned about that. Um, all right, so then we go over to Cam. So Cam has his sister and his niece, and he brings all three of the ladies, Angie, Rose, and Sahara. Okay. And y'all know what? I was gonna say, I was thinking about this. Like, we really gotta clap it up for Sahara because y'all remember Sahara got kicked off like at the mixer, like episode 1. And I don't think I've ever seen anybody that got well, obviously didn't get kicked off, but she got eliminated but got to come back. But I don't think I remember anybody that got almost got eliminated on the mixer that was able to make it to the end of the show. So I was like, wow, and every week I'm like, oh yeah, sorry about to get kicked off. Remember, she almost was for the first 3 or 4 shows. She was always at the bottom. So just to see her, come in. Well, I guess this is one of the last episodes. I was like, go ahead, Sahara. All right, so let's see what they were talking about. So, one of the first things that they brought up is, let me make sure I'm not skipping anything here. Okay. Rose asked his sister and niece, what is the biggest flaw? And immediately his sister, without hesitation, said, oh, he's stubborn. And of course that lines up with everything that I've ever said about Cam. Y'all already know. Um, I think he sees the world very black and white. I told y'all with gender roles, especially men do this, women do that, and there's no gray area. And I'm the man, so I need to be doing this, and you better get in line. And so I could absolutely that tracks for sure. Um, and it's like I would be willing to work through a lot of things, but being stubborn is not one of them for me. I always say at the end of the day, I think you got to be with somebody that if you go to them and you say, "Hey, this is bothering me," or "I have this concern," that person loves you enough. And I'm not talking about tic tac stuff, but you really have a serious concern or something. You want to be with somebody that loves you enough to say, "Okay, babe, let me think about it. Imma work on it. Imma figure it out." You see what I'm saying? It would really be hard to be with somebody when every time you brought them a concern or you brought them something and it's like, "Well, that's just how it is. That's just me. You know how I was before you got with me." It would be hard to be with somebody that had that type of energy. So when I hear people are stubborn, that's one of the things. Because, like I said, don't get me wrong, we all got something, nobody's perfect, but that would be one of the things that I don't think I could deal with, and the fact that the sister said it so quickly, I was like, "Ooh, I I couldn't I wouldn't be able to look past that." Um, and Rose, and I love Rose, but doing too much Rose, she wants to come immediately dismiss it, um well, I mean, nah, that's okay because well, we not going to bed, man. Not well, I'm like Rose, and it's another thing, y'all. Okay, this is a tangent. It's like one of the things that you want to do, and this goes to my point earlier about Hussein and his friends. You want to meet with the friends when you are dating. Try to set up something where you can meet with his friends, okay, or her friends, or whatnot. These are the people that really know this person. You don't know this person for real. And I know you feel like you do because y'all been dating for 3 months and they the best person ever. But you want to meet with the family, you want to meet with the friends, and you want to really see what they're saying. Okay. They know this person. So you want to get there. And what you want to do is sit back. Okay. And don't say too much. All right. And you need to be listening. All right. That's what you want to do. So it's like, Rose, just sit back. When she said he was stubborn, I would have been like, can you give an example? What do you mean he's stubborn? Like what kind of things does he do? I would have been, okay, I'm interviewing them. Hello. This is not about me. Now if they ask me questions, of course I answer. But you need to come prepared to get the tea for real. Okay. So Rose just jumped in so quick to answer that and to just push that to the side, and that ain't gonna be no problem. And I'm like, all right. Um, so yeah, I just thought Rose should have sat back on that one. So his sister and niece like Angie for him the best again, and Sahara at the bottom, and Rose in the middle. So and this is kind of tough for me too. I kind of see where Kim would have an issue. I kind of see a pro and a con for each of the ladies. It is a little tricky. I have a hard time seeing him with Angie because like I was saying, Angie is the big dog, or she's the alpha and the man and all this type of stuff. And I already know that's not gonna work with Cam because he prides himself on that. So and you could kind of see it a little bit at the house when they had that situation. Cause she was like, "Yeah, I bust the windows out your car." And then he was looking like, "What you mean?" And they would be getting into it all the time. So I don't think that would work. But again, you gotta remember his family is only seeing Angie for 30 minutes. So I guess they don't know all the behind the scenes like we do. So, I'm giving them grace that they chose Angie. Um, I think Rose is a people pleaser, and I think they would work. But again, I can't forget about episode 1 when Rose came to us and told us that she was very spiritual and she needed to go to church and she needed a praying man. Don't I'll never forget episode 1. And Cam was like, "Wait, wait, 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 because I don't do all that." And I guess she just completely forgot about that. So I never understood why she kept talking to him after that. So I don't think they're gonna work, especially with him being stubborn. I mean, she gonna be like, "So you gonna come to church with me Sunday?" And he gonna be like, "I told you no." So I don't know. So I actually thought maybe him and Sahara could work. Um But I guess the family said that's kind of the woman that he always goes for. But actually, I'm surprised I'm saying this, but I thought that they kind of work out of everybody. I think she matches his energy because I think kind of the spicy side of her. I think he really likes that. But I also think I don't know that we've gotten to see this, but in segments, I think she could be like the do the submissive thing too. You see what I'm saying? Because I think he really needs that. 'Cause like I said, he prides himself on is this and is that and that. And I think in a if she had a safe enough place, I think she would embrace that. So I think they kinda are the yin and yang, so I think they could actually work. So then Kim and Sahara, they go on a date to see if there still is something, worth pursuing in light of what his sister and niece have said, and again, I don't know why he like, I would how can I say this? It's like your friends and family, they're only around these people again for a dinner, for a lunch, at Thanksgiving, at Christmas. So they don't really know your significant other like that. You know what I'm saying? So I would take into account, especially if they can give me specific examples of like, yeah, well, when he hit you in the head that one time, you know what I'm saying? If it's something like that, they can give specific, I'm just joking. But if they give specific examples, then okay. But just we met for an hour, it's like, I don't know. So I don't know. I'm hoping Cam didn't put too much on it, and I'm hoping he's still considering Sahara. So they went out on a date, and all I know is the sun was out when they started, but then when they ended, it was pitch black. Okay, and so that let me know that they had a really really good time. This just wasn't for the cameras and for it to produce a scene. Like they really enjoyed themselves. Um, and I really think Cam likes her a lot. I really do. Because I've kind of been battling with the three too, and I'm just like, I can't really tell, like Rose was saying, who he likes more. I think Angie's at the bottom just because of that whole incident at the house. But to me, it was neck and neck between Rose and Sahara. And now I'm giving Sahara the slight edge. So yeah, so that was that. And I think they shared a kiss at the end of that too. I don't know, y'all. I know I was calling Cam Ike Turner, and I was joking, but when they were at this scene, at the end of the scene, and I don't like when people joke like this, but he was like, "What?" He was like, "Man, you gonna make me fight you? I'm gonna punch you," or something like that. And I was just like, I'm sorry, y'all. I don't play fight. I don't do none of that because you just stuff might go left. I don't play fight with my kids. Like I don't won't be play fighting and I'm gonna fight you and shut up and I'll like It was look. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. All right. So then we go to, I think this is the last scene. So Hussein and Rose. Hussein takes Rose out on a date and asks her why she never shared the information about her ex. Um, and I agree with Rose in that the way he approached it, it did seem as if he was trying to catch her in a lie versus asking to understand. I definitely felt that energy. It's like, oh yeah, but why you ain't say it right there? Okay, but yeah, instead of just being like, yeah, why didn't you share that information with me? I was a little disappointed. You know what I'm saying? So the energy was a little strong, and Rose did start to cry. And I think she was being truthful, and I did like how she started out by apologizing. We all about accountability over here. So I did like how she said, well, first of all, I want to apologize. That's somebody that's not in my life. I've been a single parent since day one. I really don't even think about him like that. And then I just gotta go back to Hussein, did you ask her directly, like, what's up with you and your baby father? Did she just say, oh, we don't really talk? And she just didn't mention it? Is that it, or did you just never really bring it up? You just knew she had a baby father out there, but you never really asked any specific questions about it. You were just more concerned about the son, you know? So I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out, did she lie? Was it a lie of omission or what happened? Um, but he seems to really still be upset about that. Um, and like I said, I think it was three parts to it. I think he was upset about the omission. I think he felt a way about not knowing that information in front of his homeboys. And then I think he's worried about what things will look like when he gets out of prison. Because he did ask her that during this date, and what that looked like. And she's like, "Oh, I ain't worried about him." But she was like, "Yeah, but he worried about you." And I kind of feel him on that. Like that is a big unknown that would always be looming in the back of his head. So then in the men's lounge, they discussed the ladies, and Kim also didn't know about Rose's baby daddy, that he was incarcerated. And Hussein said that this was a deal breaker for him, which really shocked me as well. Um, so yeah, I was like, oh wow, I didn't know that was be a deal breaker. I thought maybe there was something they could work through. So then Cam ultimately has a discussion with Rose, and they talk about her not telling him about the baby daddy thing and him being incarcerated, and she ends up being sent home. Yeah, I just really hated this for her. Yeah, uh I I don't know what to think. I just wanted to know more. I'm like, was she lying or was she just not saying it? I don't know what was going on. I don't know if she's seeing so that somebody did the guys did make a good point. Was it Kiara's ex that's also incarcerated? And I guess they said the group was kind of like, oh wow. So maybe she heard that response and was like, oh, let me not say anything. I don't know. But I think this would be a good lesson for Rose to just be upfront in the beginning so you don't gotta worry about it. When you're dating, just be upfront. I got 8 kids, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, I got 15 baby daddies. Just let them know in the beginning. And that way people know what they're dealing with. And you don't have to get disappointed when you reveal this information 3 months later and then they mad at you and they leave. You know what I'm saying? So I think this was a good lesson for Rose. Don't hide any information. Just be upfront. Um, Also, I think none of the men on the show are all that. So I'm like, Rose, I'm not sure why you're crying. Hussein is not it. Cam is not it. So you really dodged a bullet. Same thing I said with Khalil. Like, it's really not like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know why you're crying. But one thing that I could understand why she could be crying. And I probably thinking like 10 levels deep on this. And I probably watched too many movies and stuff. But one of the things that I thought that made me sad for Rose in this moment is that I was like, dang, even because she talked about how her life was really low when she was with this ex husband, I guess, I don't know, boyfriend. How she wouldn't eat sometimes and all this stuff. And I can only imagine the traumatic things that she's went through. And here she is on a show, trying to find somebody, trying to move on. She's really excited. And I was like, dang, even from behind a jail cell, he kind of is still controlling her destiny and her future. Not for real, but in this particular instance, that information was the thing that got her kicked off. So I was like, dang, I can only imagine how defeating that feels. Like, it's this person that did all these things to me. I'm trying to move forward. And then this person again kind of snatches this hope I had. So again, I was probably thinking too deep. She probably wasn't even on it. But yeah, so because of that, I was like, dang, that's kind of messed up. But in the same way, I hope Rose learns to just there's nothing to hide. I mean, you're not in jail. You didn't do it. You can't control anybody else. So just be upfront about that information next time. So Rose is beautiful. Um, I'm sure she'll find somebody. So I hope she keeps her head up. And like I said, none of the men on this show is all that. So you're really not missing out on it, and to be honest. Okay. All right, y'all. So that is all I have. And I will be back midweek next week to review the next episode. All right. See y'all.